female locked herself in the tree's hollow, leaving a small gap for the next 2 or 3 months. To survive, it can only rely on partners for delivery all the time. There's a statistician observer. During the time this bird was locked up in a tree niche, the number of fruits donated by birds can be more than 20,000. Tell me how to feed this bird. Is it true love? So here's the problem. Why does a bird put itself in a hole in a tree? The pink bird sets itself. The purpose of the closure, mainly for safer hatching of eggs and raising chicks. There are over 45 species of western birds in the world. The greatest characteristic of the western bird family. First, the long mouth. Mouth length may exceed 1/3 of body length. Some species can even reach a second half. On the head there's a shape like a rhino. Bald horns look like bull horns. It's called the pink bird. I locked myself in a tree hole. It's the unique sort of the redbird family. In the period of reproduction, pink birds often lay eggs in a tree or rock cave, and then the flamingos will use the leaves, mixture of mud and saliva cavities. Locked himself in the hole. Of course, the hole will not be completely closed. It will leave a small window. This small window, in addition to leaving her husband every day giving food, it's also a waste vent. Put your ass out of the hole to shit out. The pink bird lays its eggs in turn. The number is usually 1 to 4. The body imagines the greater the pressure of the father bird, the number of times you need to deliver meals every day will be higher. And to replenish their nutrition, they had to change their meals. You can't just eat fruit. We've got to catch some mice and insects and so on. Don't look at the big mouth. And their peepers look very bulky. But it's really smart. Whether collecting 10 fruits or catching rat insects, even catching bats can be quickly completed. Bats don't need to fly when they're standing in trees, waiting for the bats to fly by. Quick out of mouth is able to take a piece. It's like this, the male runs around every day, constantly looking for food. Send food to the female through this little mouth. More, one donation is 8 to 90 days of chicks from broken shells to growing feathers. Chubby in 2 or BA months, this female bird will always watch the birds. Wait until the bird's feathers are full. After being able to feed themselves, the whole family will crack the lock together. Research findings. Method of closed incubation of persimmon actually reduces the likelihood prey by natural enemies. Of the 140 nests of pink birds observed, only 1 nest was successfully attacked by a predator. This method can reduce the probability of chicks. The predator can see it. The benefit of going to eliminate predators is less than 1%. While closed, in addition to protecting from predators, it can also be against people. The red emperor doesn't dig a hole to build a flag. So you can only choose natural tree niches. But due to the larger size of the flamingos, in a forest, niche resources are very limited. So if you don't close the door, it's very vulnerable to other flamingos. And the long breeding season of the flamingos, often there are invaders of the same kind trying to occupy the nest. So when a male feeds a family of 7, it takes a lot of time and effort to find the bait. The intruder could show a flamingo. The number of times a male has driven off another hornbird, up to 50 times. So there's a problem. It's if birds fight death during this time. I guess a lot of people have thought about this. Whatever during the care, the burden of feeding a family all on one bird. So if the male dies during this time, greatly affects female and offspring. Maybe the kids will starve if the female can't wait for the male to return for a long time. As a result, this female will leave the nest and go out to find food. But the hole is open. The birds also lost their protection. In many cases the female bird will always watch over her chicks in the nest until I finally starve to death in the cave. Which means that whatever the outcome is, it's going to be a tragedy. So the benefits of the male bird are many. But the male is also more important, his life and death. It can be said that it's a family decision. Red is a wife, a husband, and very specifically a lifetime of not remarrying. I don't know if it's because of this bird. I guess the male is dead. I don't want to live alone. I would rather die of hunger than leave the cave. From this point, the rose is surely also counted true lovebird. Pink birds mainly live in the tropics of Africa and Asia, the tropical forest region. So many countries see red as love, a symbol of loyalty. In Malaysia, he loved and worshipped the birds. In the eyes of the locals, very noble status. Every year there is a pink festival. It's a pink bird, though. Because of its unique skull shape, it's easy to hunt. Especially the bird's skull will secrete a red wax. Over the years, will form a colorful red and yellow wax. So the beautiful phoenix skull. It's used to carve a variety of crafts, expensive and frantically seeking poachers. Rosebird hunting, leading to a sharp drop in numbers. Now it's on the verge of rare extinction. So we consider it impossible. Go into the forest to stop the poachers, but we shouldn't collect crafts carved out of a ruby's piercing box. You can always do it forever. I forgot the saying, there is no hunting. I finished talking today. Come back and watch my channel in your free time.